Say you want to print something on the internet, right? Let's go to Google Maps. So back in the day when we didn't have smartphones, I actually had to print out maps ahead of time. So something called MapQuest predated Google Maps. So for example, if I wanted to go to, let's look it up here. Um, let's go LAX to Burbank Airport, and then directions, and then let's see, we're gonna hit print. Okay, so I want to print this page. So a couple ways to do it. You can go to the more options here, and then just find the print. There is a shortcut. If you notice, it's Control P. But I'm just going to go with the print. And this way you can actually print the directions. Now I can't see the actual directions, so I'm going to click here. There's a little print icon there. But in case I don't find it, I could always hit print here. And it gives me all the directions to navigate to my destination. Pretty cool. You can also mess with the pages if you don't want like all the pages. You can put the pages that you want. You can customize it if you want black and white or just color, portrait, landscape, etc. So yeah, and notice if you don't actually select a printer, you can actually save this as a PDF. So you can save this as a file. Really useful. So that's printing on the Chrome browser. Let's go ahead and go over extensions. So extensions will be the last part we discuss. So extensions is how you extend the functionality of the browser. So if you want to extend the functionality of the browser, all you have to do is go to uh, here to the more settings. You could go to extensions there. There's also an extensions button here. So there's always going to be multiple ways to go to it. But let's go to those settings and then go here to extensions and manage extensions. So here is where you have your current extensions. If you want new ones, you go to Chrome Web Store. So extensions are ways to add features to your Chrome browser. One of the things that we'll talk about in the cybersecurity is a VPN. So if you want a virtual private network, a proxy, so that your traffic is encrypted, so it's another like security measure to protect yourself on the internet, you can actually add it as an extension. Maybe you do a lot of annotations. So let's look up annotations. So you write a lot of essays. If you want to generate annotations, you can use maybe one of um, these extensions here. So I've never used any of these, so I wouldn't recommend any off the bat. What I will recommend to y'all is Session Buddy. So oftentimes we're working on different projects, different assignments. We might have like 100 different tabs open at once, and you don't close them because you don't want to lose track of those tabs, right? You spent hours researching, finding that article, that piece of information, and you don't want to get rid of it. But things can get busy, and if we've already discussed operating systems, right, the more processes you have open, the more work you're giving the computer. So if you want to kind of relieve some of that load off the computer, maybe save those tabs, those windows, and open them at a later time, you can download Session Buddy. So Session Buddy is really cool. If I, for example, want to save all the windows I have here, I can just hit the save button on Session Buddy after downloading it. It doesn't have a name, so I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it, let's see, the Internet Recording Lecture. So now I know I had these tabs when I was recording my internet lecture. So anytime, even though I close these, I can always reopen them. So I'm going to close them all. I'm going to navigate to Chrome again. I already have it open up here. And then I don't have any of them open, but I could always go back here and then I can just open these links. So open in one window and boom, I have access to all the same tabs that I had open. Very cool. So yeah, Session Buddy. I have a couple other ones. Honey is a cool one. So if you're on a website, for example, let's go to Nike store and you're shopping. I always love to get discounts. So when I'm at the checkout, so let's add some shoes here. So we're just gonna add a random shoe, or why is this in the way? Sorry, it's crapping out a bit. There we go. All right, so here at the checkout, Honey's going to say, hey, I found 2 coupons. So this extension will actually enter those coupon codes for you. It'll determine if any of them work, and it'll also find the best one. So if multiple of them do work, it'll only choose the coupon code that gave you the biggest discount. So very, very cool. Can save you a lot of money. So Chrome extensions, highly recommend them. There's one more bookmark trick that I'm going to show y'all, and that's on Amazon. If you shop on Amazon a bit, so let's see, let's look up dog food. You want to find the best dog food, right? So there are some requirements to this trick. I have to actually send the trick via an announcement because it's kind of complicated. But let's go to dog food and let's go to, I think it's pet supplies and search. So you do have to have a category on it. Once you do have a category on it, you could go, more specific. It does help. Let's go with food. Once you have a category selected, there's this bookmark trick where it'll add a little piece of code, a piece of like a filter code to the end of the address. It'll actually filter them by the number of reviews. So Amazon doesn't have a filter for this that you can click on, but it does have it available in their backend in like their application, but it's hidden from users. Now somebody figured it out, and this little bookmark trick, if you click on it, it'll actually filter everything by number of reviews. So these are the results. Sometimes you'll get some like sponsored ones that squeeze in there, but for the most part, you'll see 34,000 is the one with the most reviews, and then it keeps getting lower and lower and lower. So maybe you don't want the one with 5 stars. You want the one that has 4.5 stars, but has tons and tons of reviews. So that's where this little button will be very, very useful. So I'll share this with y'all. All the tricks I've learned along the way, you're gonna learn. In fact, everything I used to build this class, you're gonna learn over the course of the next few weeks. Depends if you're taking it summer or fall, right? Might take a little bit longer. Again, depends on the length of the term. So yeah, I will share this trick with y'all. I will share all my tricks with y'all over the course of the entire term. So at the end of the class, really, you'll be able to build your own course, be a professor as well, maybe even take my job, who knows. But yeah, I'm not shy about it. Those are all my tricks when it comes to the Chrome browser. Most of my tricks, right? In the interest of time, I can't cover everything. But yeah, that's Google Chrome. Highly recommend, right? You use all the features I covered, learn a few more. I will be discussing one more internet research tool in one of the next videos.